All right, so here we are working on our science for sorry, our science for Tuesday. Tissues. So the other day we read about different kinds of cells, and we talked about all the different things that cells do. We talked about there's two different types of cells: plant cells and animal cells. And that plant cells have two other parts. They have cell walls and they have cytoplasm, which in chloroplast, which is not something that animals have because they eat food. Plants have to make their own food. So, similar kinds of cells join together as tissues to perform. I'm going to shut my sorry, my hand. It'll take a minute. Similar kinds of cells join together as tissues to perform the same task. For example, the muscles that animals use to move arms and legs are made of muscle cells. Other kinds of tissues made up for bones and skin, blood, and nerves. Since you are most familiar with your body, let's take a closer look at some human tissues. Bone is made up of two kinds of tissue. The outside of the bone is made of a tissue that contains a mineral calcium. Calcium makes bones hard. This is plant tissue. Both plant and animals have tissue, but plant tissues are different from animal tissues. Plants have xylem tissue for transporting water and phylum tissue for transporting food. It's a little different. To provide protection to softer parts of the body and support for muscles inside larger bones is another tissue called marrow. This tissue manufactures blood cells. Your tissues are always working to keep you alive. Muscle tissue in your heart is constantly pumping blood tissue through your body. Blood tissue carries nourishment to cells and carries waste from cells. The muscle cells in muscle tissue contract, shorten, and then relax to move different parts of your body. You could not read these words without muscle tissue. Right now, muscle tissue is moving your eyes back and forth across this page. At the same time, nerves carry messages from cells to cell, directing your eye and muscles to move and carry signals back to your brain. Your brain is a mass of nerve tissue that interprets the world you see and gives them meaning. Your muscle tissue and nerve tissue are cooperating right now. They are working together to help you read these words. The muscles in this dog's eye contract and then relax to move the eye back and forth. Crazy to think that just reading how much muscles it takes for your eye and your everything in your body to work together. Crazy. Trying to focus this. I apologize if it's blurry, not blurry, blurry, not blurry. All right, here we go. Organs. And there are some diseases that affect your muscles, like muscular dystrophy. People have where their body fights against that and their muscles and how they work. That's not really a very good definition, but it's kind of like how I think that's how it works. When different types of tissue work together to perform a special function, they form an organ. Eyes are organs. So are lungs, brains, bones, skin, and hearts. Animals as small as grasshoppers and as large as whales have many of the same organs, such as a heart, brain, and stomach. The table below shows various frog organs and the special functions they perform. There's a heart, it pumps the blood to tissues. There's a lung, it puts oxygen into the blood. There's a brain, it directs all of the body's activities. There's a stomach, it breaks down food. Small intestines absorb nutrients from food. Kidneys store waste from the body. And liver, it cleans waste from the blood. Plant organs. Both plant and animals have organs. Plant organs include flowers, stem, leaves, and roots. What do you know about each organ's purpose? Okay, body systems. This book has explained that cells combine to form tissues and tissues combine to form organs. When several organs work together and in an animal, they form a bigger, more complex unit known as a body system. This is where all of the work done by cells, tissues, and organs come together to keep an organism alive and growing. Every animal has body systems. For example, in an animal like a frog, several major systems work together to keep the frog alive. Each system has a special job to perform. For instance, the job of the digestive system is to break down the food that the frog eats so its cells can make energy from it. All of the systems contribute to the frog's survival. The chart on the next page identifies 10 systems found in the frog and other animals, including humans. Notice how each system does something unique and vital. Plant systems. Plants have systems too. They have the root system below the ground and the shoot system, which is everything above the ground. Oh, this is the chart that they were talking about. Nervous system, brain, spinal cord, nerves, and sense organs. Muscular. Oh, this just breaks down. I'm going to read the human ones. The frog moves more than 60 muscles. The human, more than 600 muscles. Skeletal, a frog has 159 bones and a human has 206 bones. Respiratory, lungs and trachea. Digestive, mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestines, kidney, and liver. Circulatory, blood vessels and heart. Endocrine, pancreas, thyroid, pituitary, and other glands. Immune, white blood cells and antibodies. Reproductive, female ovaries, uterus, male's testicles. Excretory, liver, kidney, bladder, lungs, and skin. Then they each describe what each one does. All of our mission control. All of our systems are vital, but the nervous system could be considered the communication and control system of all other systems. It gathers information and processes the information to control almost all of the organs and functions. Nerve tissues in the sense organs, nose, eyes, ears, skin, and tongue are part of this system. So are the bundle of nerves that connect to the brain, sense organs, and other body parts. Plants do not have a nervous system. Instead, their cells communicate by using chemicals that flow through the tissue. These nerve cells from the other types of the cells these nerve cells differ from other types of cells in many ways. Most importantly, they conduct electrical signals that allow the body parts to communicate with each other. Since organs use nerve cells to send information to the brain, and the brain sends back orders to respond. The boss. Go figure. That's a dolphin brain. Huh? The brain of some animals has 3 main parts, and each plays a unique role in directing the body's activities. Number 1. The cerebrum processes incoming information from the senses and helps control thinking and speaking, which apparently mine is exhausted because I can barely speak. It is the largest part of the human brain. Most animal brains have a smaller cerebrum than human brains. The cerebellum is in charge of controlling posture and balance. I don't think I have one of those. It helps coordinate muscle movement. The brain stem controls the circulatory, respiratory, digestive, and other systems. Did you know? Other animals have brains too. Dogs, rats, lizards, and grasshoppers have brains. But even though the whole brain is large, it is not as big compared to the size of the body as a human brain is. I guess that makes sense. Tears sticking out your tongue, of salivating is what they're trying to show you there. Not all microorganisms are helpful. In fact, many are beneficial. Not all microorganisms are harmful. In fact, many are beneficial. For example, tiny bacteria in your digestive system help you digest the food that you eat. Foods like yogurt contain these helpful bacteria. Body wars. Did you know that most organisms have a special system devoted to protecting them from other tiny but harmful organisms? This is called the immune system. Every day, animals and plants are threatened by harmful bacteria, viruses, molds, fungi, protozoa, and other microorganisms that can cause disease. These microorganisms are known as pathogens. Pathogens can enter an organism every day through its various openings. The organisms working to keep out pathogens, the skin of the animal and the plant stops many of them. The saliva in humans and other animals' mouths, as well as the digestive juices in the stomach, kill some. Even tears wash some pathogens away. So, there are so many facts, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to put this up again so you guys can see my page, and I'll refocus. So it's not that big of a deal. Week 7, day 2. Inside living things. Capital, because this is the title. Inside living things. Oh, so much better. Okay, number 1. They talked about on the first page that there are tissues when similar kinds of cells join together. I'm gonna put, tissue. There's a lot of vocabulary in this one, so I am gonna put some of these down. Organs. Because it is on the little test thing at the end of the unit. Organs. Organs are when different types of tissue work together to perform a special function. Okay, so when we're talking about tissues, we're talking about, it says like muscle, those types of things. Organs, we're talking about brains, bones, skin, heart, those types of things. Okay, 3. Body systems. These are the ones like your circulatory system. It says so body systems are when several major systems work together to keep an animal alive. Number 4. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 main body systems. Like, and I'm not going to say them all, but I am going to say like nervous, muscular, skeletal, those types of things. There's several more. So there's 10. Number 5, last thing. Pathogens are microorganisms that can be harmful. So I pretty much just used facts today. So these are all facts. I have capitals and end marks. End marks aren't really necessary because you're doing a definition. So I know that I spelt all of these right because I looked them up in my paper that I had next to me. Please don't misspell the words that are there. So I'm going to give myself 2 points for each fact. And you should be good.